Let's go! Let's go! Man, what a thing to wake up to. A new trailer for Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation Season 2 has been released this morning. And man, I have to say, my hype levels for this sequel season has got me really, really excited. Now, let's cover the actual announcements within this trailer itself. They gave an actual date for starting, which is July 2nd, so mark your calendars. I know I am, because again, I'll be covering this show. And yes, I have technically read on in the light novels, so I won't really be doing a coverage of the show. I'm still debating it, but I think I'll probably be doing a covering of it, my thoughts on it, and then maybe doing like a what may have been missed segment for it. So non-spoiler and light novel readers can kind of watch along. But they also announced the opening and ending, which is Spiral by Longman and Musume by Yuiko Ohara. So yeah, one of them doesn't really fit. I don't think, I mean, they can do it. They could pull it off. But yeah, one of the songs didn't really seem to fit the theme of the show, but we'll see. We also got a new key art, which looks fantastic. Of course, anything with Sera in it is going to be fantastic. Interesting, in the background, we have a lot of characters, mainly characters in Volume 7, like characters from Counter Arrow. We also have Soldat back there, Best Bro Soldat. And I'm guessing the other person is Genius, I think. I don't know. Again, I'm not really kind of connecting characters to what they've described him in the actual book, but I'm not sure why he's there. Especially since the theme of the key art seems to be Volume 7. But it was a fantastic trailer. I am, like I said before, my hype level has gone up. I think for those that have not read in the light novel, I don't really recommend watching this trailer just because there is sort of lines in the trailer itself that spoil a major heavy point in the actual first segment of this season. There's also a lot of indications for people that Rudius is going to meet, which is technically spoiler as well, and a lot of emphasis put on a certain character and the mystery around that character. So watch it at your own risk, but from here on, I'm going to be talking about light spoilers on my thoughts on the trailer because I'm going to talk about different segments and imply what's going on in them and my excitement for them. So keep that in mind if you're very sensitive to spoilers. That's my thoughts on this trailer. It's great. I love it and all that kind of stuff. Honestly, it's really nice for myself being able to watch a trailer and I see spoilers and I'm like, I know that part already, so I don't care. But no, the opening parts of this trailer I think was really interesting because I think one of my biggest concerns that I've had for this second season is that they're going to... it's been my concern for the overall story of Mushoku Tensei and its adaptation. There has been a lot of emphasis on the adaptation to sort of just focus on Rudius. And so that any of the side stories sort of get cut. I mean, a prime example is right after the displacement incident, Ghislaine went somewhere. And there's a whole chapter on where Ghislaine went and her travels back. So that whole segment got cut because, again, it's not necessarily that important to Rudius. Most of the adaptation has been kind of super focused on him. But there is a sort of very important story going into second season that needs to be covered, and that is Ariel. Ariel is a significant part of the second season, as we're going to be getting into. And they show a brief, very brief scene showing Ariel. And I think myself and a lot of people sort of thought that this segment is going to be kind of skipped. This is the story from the very beginning of Ariel's story in the books, all the way up into the point where it's going to be important to Rudius. But they do show this one little scene where she's sitting down in this room. And I think it's what I think it is. It might be something later. Who knows? Maybe I haven't gotten to it yet. For those who don't know, I am just wrapping up Volume 11. And a lot of the predictions for the season is that it's going to go to the end of Volume 12. But yes, a lot of focus of this trailer is on Volume 7, which is Rudius' first journey into the Northern region. He's obviously very upset. He meets a new group, Counter Arrow, starts hanging out with Counter Arrow. A lot of emphasis on Sarah, which I am really excited about. I really do like Sarah. She's got a lot about her that I really, really like. And I think she's a significant part of Rudius' story, the struggles that he's going through. But I will say that a lot of that context was kind of found in the previous trailer. I think the second trailer is probably one of the safest trailers because it's just strictly focused on what's happening in Volume 7, which is the beginning parts of this next season. Now, the promise that this trailer gives me for this particular segment is that they're going to go into a lot more detail than I thought. I had a side prediction that they weren't going to focus much on Volume 7, that they were just going to kind of you know, give the cliff notes and move on. Because in all seriousness, and a lot of people kind of see this, yes, Volume 7 technically was light novel original. It wasn't in the original web novel. This is something that he created on the side, which, yes, gives a lot of context to Rudius and what he was going through. It makes this little segment of his life a lot more dire and very broken, but it is also technically a story segment that sort of goes in a circle, to an extent. But because I'm seeing so much of Volume 7 in this trailer, it gives me an indication that they're going to cover everything. Now, the trailer also confirms what I've seen in the previous trailer, which is, yes, they're pretty much going on this idea that what he has with him is a lock of hair and not a pair of pantsu, which still kind of bugs me, but whatever. I mean, the hair just doesn't fit his character. The pantsu does. Why did we have to change it to a lock of hair? It should have been a pair of pantsu. Whatever. In my mind, there's an ongoing thing of Rudius where he doesn't want to admit that he has a fetish for pantsu, but he technically does. He doesn't want to outwardly admit that he has a thing for pantsu. I think for this segment, visually, looks good. I still have some concerns here and there where it looks a little off. I mean, for example, when they show Soldat. In the trailer, when they show Soldat, he looks a little off. It looks like just in the scene and everything, just his positioning, he doesn't fit in the shot. And so there is still moments here and there that are a little rough. And let's be honest, if I were to look back at the first season, there's points where it gets wonky. It's just typically with the trailer, they don't show that stuff. A few of my favorite segments in this first area, though, is definitely the trip into the forest. All the lances coming up looks super good. That casual, I got somewhere to be kind of walk that he's doing, and everything's kind of just being speared. Looks so good. Of course, the fight with the bears looks really, really good. All that stuff looks great. I'm looking forward to it. And like I said, I'm excited the fact that it looks like they're pretty much doing everything. The trailer did really well in kind of selling the kind of struggles that he's going through. And even though a lot of it's kind of chronologically moved around, which is probably on purpose, it kind of shows him being down. And then at some point you have that realization point for him, which again is another reason why I don't think this is probably good for people to watch this trailer, to know when that realization point is going to be. It pretty much showing it, but it's good. And I'm kind of surprised they showed as much of Sarah as they did. They're obviously getting into that relationship. It looks like they're including the scene where Rudius does not perform, which was interesting. The fight scene with the bear looks really good because it kind of gives that emphasis of how everybody's fighting and he's kind of just standing there. And it kind of re-sparks my hope because I think one of the big criticisms that I had for, I think, the first trailer was they showed the scene where they're fighting all of the lizards in the ruins. And it just didn't look good. Like, it just looked like a floating platform. Like, this is not a floating platform in the books. They're in a chamber, in a hallway, in a really cramped hallway with these massive statues. Where's the statues? And it just looks like a floating platform. I mean, artistic, but still, it doesn't match the scene. And sort of got another indication of that with this trailer and the idea that Soldat standing on one of them. And it's like, wait, why does it not show, like, piles of these things? There's literally piles of these things. One really cool shot they kind of showed was there's going to be obviously a lot of emphasis on how much Rudius is upset about Eris leaving him. Again, she abandoned him in his mind. And they have this kind of brief shot showing Suzanne and Sarah walking away, and you have that brief moment of it shifting to Ghislaine and Eris. Really like that. I don't think that specifically was emphasized in the light novel. But again, this is kind of one of those examples of them taking sort of a lot of inner dialogue that's happening with Rudius that obviously they're not going to be able to adapt. They can't adapt these long strains of inner dialogue and what Rudius is struggling with. So to transfer it to a visual medium, they're obviously going to have to give visual representation of that. And that's easily kind of one of those easy ways of representing that. Because Sarah has a lot of likeness to Eris. And since Rudius can't get his mind off of Eris, he's obviously going to constantly be reminded of Eris. And I love that little shot where Sarah's talking to Suzanne. It kind of shifts into Eris. It's a really good touch. But yes, of course, the other segment of this trailer is just kind of a montage of the university. And this is where we get into more of what probably most people that have not read the light novel should be seeing, but I think most people have an indication he's going to go to a university. I mean, you can't miss this. It's hard to not see the key arts right now. But yes, get to see everybody. Zenoba best bro. We get to see Bodyguardy, best daddy. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for Bodyguardy in animated format. I just absolutely love the guy. Even though it still seems as if we're never going to get the scene with the finger guns. He's amazing. And Julie, we got to see Julie. Julie is so freaking adorable. I cannot wait for more Julie as well. Obviously, a lot of emphasis on Ariel and Fitz, which, again, I don't think they're handling that well. And of course, so much of Ellen Elise, and I just can't... I'm currently getting a lot of Ellen Elise, and I'm loving it, so... but again, that's kind of the part where it starts to get into more spoilers for those that have not read it. You're getting into him actually running into Ellen Elise. You're getting into him meeting Bodyguardy, though people that are anime only don't know who Bodyguardy is. But yeah, super excited. Again, nutshell, I'm happy that it looks like they're going to be covering a lot of Ariel's story. They're not going to skip all that stuff like I kind of originally thought they would. They could still make it like a quick 10-minute montage, but it's nice they're covering that because that's going to be a significant impact for a later part. I love the fact that it looks like they're pretty much covering every bit of story in Volume 7 and not just skipping that. I made a prediction that they could probably just do that in 2 episodes, which they still could. Great emphasis on Rudius and his struggles, great visual representation of that, and yes, everybody that we meet at the university that I absolutely love, and I cannot wait to see Bodyguardy, Julie, Zenobia, yes, even Cliff. I love Cliff now. And lots of Ellen Elise. I can't wait. Super excited. Hope you guys enjoy this video and my gushing over a trailer, whatever. If you guys like this video, make sure to go down below and hit that like button. Leave me a comment. Let me know if you're excited about the series or not. Again, no spoilers. I would probably say no spoilers for Season 2, just in case anybody is watching this and scrolls down. I don't know. We have a Discord for all the spoilers. We have a Discord. Go in there. We have a Mushoku Mondays channel, which is me reading through the Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation novel series. I have not read into Volume 12 yet, but you're welcome to talk about it in there. We also have a full-on spoiler chat for Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation if you've read everything. But definitely would love to have you there. But I thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you like this content and want to support it more, I have a Patreon link, tips link, super thanks button down below, as well as a membership button. I greatly appreciate it. It supports the channel. And again, if you're a fan of Mushoku Tensei, I have a light novel read-through that I'm doing called Mushoku Mondays every Monday. You can find the playlist on the channel. Y'all take care.